So every point that I'm making, and you're making some great points as well, a significant amount of commonalities between me and you, and such things that you could do. Look at that. You're probably going to ease into eating less or more, and you're fasting, and you're a really intelligent creature, and for health reasons known to other humans, you don't speak as much about feed and necessary ape great harm. It's more like you want to get to a place where you feel like everybody is having their habits and sustainable types of excess amounts of liquids in their body, and looking at it from this perspective, and obviously the chiefs of consumption in the grade. From a moral perspective, that's a step in the right direction because you're stepping towards the bathroom, and you're still going to be employed and morally ripe. That's the reason why a lot more animals are reducing, fully eliminating the victim's perspective from the individual suffering, a reduced consumption, which you would have had you just minded your own business. And less than that is more. And for instance, taking five of them out and more is you used to die for me. And this was just the 16 doubt desires and a moral conclusion about the subject. And I think it's better, morally concludes that the worst universities in the list 2002 is 202. It's wrong to beat eggs or tick milk and grade the sustainable level, and you just own the cows and you make them pet spaces and do this. If it gets to the end of a long life and you kill them, it may, I don't know, maybe you can maybe iron the entire and die of natural causes and maybe cause them no harm. It's fresh to be hard and tough and maybe disease riddled as well. Indeed, and the situation you're having in your background is what's causing the forte, and maybe you're all gonna have JCAT with the children and the dairy complex and the situation that you're describing. Whatever is happening to the eggs, you're supporting your purchases, and that is a moral thing in your eyes, bestowing the moral support, supporting like an industry. Definitely not Costa milk. You know, it's nice, but you don't really need it that much. Eggs are really useful, and again, on that very simple light note, beyond some freedom that and doesn't seem like too much of an exploit. It's diminishing the value in the system that you're supporting and binding it with the absence of that scenario and having the eggs prelim the, special nut for us with by eggs supporting other things that degrade as well. And even if we to produce the sauce production, we would still not get to the full extent of the reduction of the point you're in. And it's an interesting one because you do say that it's a one about the idea of producing enough in the mall of wool and becoming industrialized in one way or another. Not necessarily anymore naked to my eye, but not more, just more like egg and y'all lick. Well, I don't believe in the walls and maybe killing other chicks and stuff like that. With the industrialization, a couple of things, the commercial perspectives, the industry, economically speaking, is very fragile in this money connection because it's making a lot of monies in the subsidies. They're eating meat in the soon reduced subsidies that are cut in the income fell. And you can find that the main reduction in the economic reliable huge government handout is economically viable because the systems, maybe like extensive grass feeding systems, would be so expensive that most people wouldn't be able to follow them everywhere. So consumption and you are morally cased on a smaller scale system, and people are having hens in their backyards. And if you're comparing the situation in Heavy Light to a lot of care to pet what other stuff. You compare all of it to what normally happens to hens. It's day and night. It's barely even comparable to the compulsion and here we go animal farming really getting. That's how agriculture started anyways. So my favorite bee, hypothetical and dealing small, is not something that's necessarily going to happen, but my feel is that it would be discovered from the system of a couple of people having hens and sowing those hens into more people that have more hands. And if you've 5 hands on your neighbor, then you can yolshol and basically pay them for the fruit costs. Yeah, Nigel. Some more.